Good afternoon or good evening, football fans. This is Big Al on this Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. And as you're pretty much well know, it's been just about 24 hours since Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered a life-altering injury in last night's Monday night game between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I want to start on how this all went down. All right, there was about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. The Bengals had the ball and they were up 7-3. Joe Burrow throws a pass across midfield to his wide receiver T. Higgins. Hamlin comes up from his safety spot to tackle Higgins, and the hit was pretty normal. It wasn't an egregious hit. It wasn't a bad hit, in any sense of the word. It was a textbook football type hit, And then after Hamlin got up off the turf, he popped up pretty quickly, and then he just collapsed back to the turf, and he stayed down for quite some time. At that point, everyone in that stadium knew that this was a pretty serious development. So the trainers performed CPR on Hamlin for about 10 minutes. Overall, Hamlin stayed on the turf for about a half hour until being taken out of the stadium in an ambulance. He was transported to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, which is about 2 miles away from Paycor Stadium where the game was being played. And he has been there since in their intensive care unit in critical condition. Apparently, some reports state that Hamlin took a helmet to the chest. That's probably what caused him to collapse onto the turf and stay there. Now, the hit in question took place just before 9 p.m. Eastern Time in Cincinnati, Ohio, at about 8:55 to be exact. Hamlin was then taken out of the stadium 30 minutes later at just before 9:30 Eastern Time. About another 30-some minutes would pass before the National Football League officially would postpone the game because they had initially suspended it for a temporary. They had initially suspended the game temporarily. That took place at 9:18. Then Hamlin was taken out of the stadium in an ambulance. That was at 9:25 Eastern Time. At 10:01 Eastern Time, 36 minutes after Hamlin left the stadium, the league announced that the game would be postponed. Both teams ended up going back to their respective locker rooms, and the sellout crowd in Cincinnati that came to watch this game ended up filing out of the stadium. And man, it was clearly a scary sight. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was pretty scary. I mean, you had a number of football players in tears. This is how bad this is, y'all. This is how bad it was. You have football players in tears, very emotional, and understandably so. I mean, this is one of their brothers. And Hamlin's not that old of a guy either. Damar Hamlin is only 24 years old. He was a 6th round draft pick of the Bills in 2021. His dream was to play for not only the Pittsburgh Panthers, where he went to school, but also with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, the Buffalo Bills drafted him, as I said, in the 6th round in the 21 draft. Now, there are some statements that I do want to read off here. I have the Chat Sports video on Damar Hamlin's condition, and it has many of the statements here on this video. So if you want to check that out, just go to Chat Sports and look for the video that says Damar Hamlin News. All right. This is a statement sent from the Buffalo Bills, one of many. Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he was transferred to the UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He is currently sedated and listed in critical condition. And here's another statement from the Buffalo Bills Twitter account from earlier this afternoon. It reads in part, Damar Hamlin spent last night in the intensive care unit and remains there today in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. We are grateful and thankful for the outpouring of support we have received thus far. Again, Damar Hamlin played his college ball at the University of Pittsburgh. He's 24 years old. He's a 6th round draft pick by the Buffalo Bills in 2021. And here's another tweet from SportsCenter from their Twitter account. The support for Damar Hamlin continues to pour in. The GoFundMe that Hamlin began in 2020 with a goal of $2,500 to help kids in his community has now reached more than $4 million from 150,000 plus donors. Now this tweet was taken earlier today at about noon Eastern time. Now, Roger Goodell did or did not announce, if you will, the possibility of this game being restarted, if at all. As you know, clearly football is the furthest thing from everyone's minds right now. It's all about the health of Damar Hamlin at this point. Okay. This is a statement from Damar Hamlin himself talking about his Chasing M Foundation fundraiser. It says, quote, as I embark on my journey to the NFL, I will never forget where I come from, and I am committed to using my platform to positively impact the community that raised me. I created the Chasing M's Foundation as a vehicle that will allow me to deliver that impact. And the first program is the 2020 Community Toy Drive. 100% of the funds raised will go towards the purchase of toys for kids in need. See, this is what the NFL is all about. It's not just playing football. It's giving back to your community. And the Chasing M's Foundation is how Damar Hamlin gives back. All right. And you have so much out. You have another statement here from Damar's family dated earlier this afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you right now. It says, from the family of Damar Hamlin, quote, on behalf of our family, we want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time. We are deeply moved by the prayers, kind words, and donations from fans around the country, rather. We also want to acknowledge the dedicated first responders and healthcare professionals at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center who have provided exceptional care to Damar. We feel so blessed to be part of the Buffalo Bills organization and to have their support. We also want to thank Coach Taylor and the Bengals for everything they've done. Your generosity and compassion mean the world to us. Please keep Damar in your prayers. We will release updates as soon as we have them. Thank you, the Hamlin family. Now, that's the statement from Damar's family from earlier today. And players from across the league also showing their support for Damar Hamlin. And I'll read you some of their tweets here in just a second. All right, Josh Allen, his teammate and quarterback of the Bills, says, please pray for our brother. He tweeted that last night, about 10:19 p.m. on his Twitter account. Then you got Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins, on his Twitter page, says, praying for Hamlin, man, for real. That was at 8:04 Eastern time last night. Russell Wilson, Broncos quarterback, says, wow, I am praying for you, Hamlin Island. Praying for health and safety. And can't forget about the GOAT Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He says, we're praying for Damar and his family this morning in Tampa. Moments like this put into perspective what it means to play this game we love. Thankful for our communities in Cincinnati and Buffalo for the overwhelming level of care and support I know they'll continue to provide. And TB12 tweeted that out this morning at about 9:15 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, now there is an update on whether or not this game will be restarted or not. And this is from the National Football League. It says in part, the NFL has announced that the Bengals versus Bills game will not be resumed this week. Now keep in mind, going in, this game had playoff implications aplenty for both teams. A Bills win would keep them in that number one spot in the AFC. A Bengals win would put them one step closer in winning the AFC North. All they would have to do is beat the Ravens this coming week. Now, there is no set date on when the game will be resumed, if at all. Again, football should be at the back of everyone's minds during this very challenging time. And then the commissioner, Roger Goodell, also had a statement. He said, quote, a short time ago, and after discussions with the two teams and the NFLPA, that's the NFL Players Association, we advised Buffalo and Cincinnati that last night's game will not be resumed this week. No decision has been made regarding the possible resumption of the game at a later date, and we have not announced any changes to this weekend's schedule, as in the Week 18 schedule. So you don't have to worry about any changes there. All right, Jimmy Jeremy Fowler of ESPN tweeted out this afternoon, the sense I get after asking around is the Bills would be surprised if the Bengals game resumes at all. There's just no clean way to do it, and Buffalo's focus is solely on Damar Hamlin right now, as it should be. All right. Albert Breer tweeted earlier today, these are obviously small things compared to what's happening with Damar Hamlin. But if the Bengals-Bills game is declared a no contest, Cincinnati would win the AFC North and lock in as the conference's number 3 seed. And the Kansas City Chiefs would be positioned to be the number 1 seed with a win Saturday night, as they will be playing the Raiders up the road from me in Vegas. So again, no further updates about Damar Hamlin at this time. But if they are, I will jump on and I will give those to you. But in the meantime, just keep Damar in your prayers and hope he comes out of all of this, because it's been almost 24 hours since this has taken place. I have been watching football for more than 3 decades, and I have never seen something as scary or as devastating as this. Again, prayers up for Damar Hamlin once again. All that being said, the Week 17 edition of the week that was is on hold until we get more word from the National Football League on whether or not the Bills-Bengals game will be resumed or if it will be declared a no contest. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started on Week 18 tomorrow, as I always do, and then just go live on Thursday with that. So again, Damar Hamlin, safety of the Buffalo Bills, remains in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in critical condition after suffering cardiac arrest during last night's game with the Cincinnati Bengals. And he remains in critical condition to this very second. All right. That's all I have to say. I will probably be back on Thursday, like I said, with my Week 18 picks. And then I'm probably going to do the final 2 editions of the week that was following Week 18, or whenever the Bengals-Bills game is restarted or not. We shall see. It's all up in the air, but we shall see. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell. Get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching, and keep praying for Damar Hamlin. He sure needs them at this time. Peace out.